So today what we'll talk about is potential temperature. Okay, so this is a very important concept of thermodynamics, atmosphere, overall concept. So this is potential temperature. Now, before going details into that, why we have temperature in atmosphere? Why do we need this stuff yet again? This kind of uh, terms in atmosphere to understand atmospheric science or related sciences. Why do we need that? First of all, just look at the normal way how we convey our message as an atmospheric scientist or as a related scientist in related field. So if this is the land, so consider this is the land, okay, and now you as we go up and up, so just let me have a bigger atmosphere, right? So this is your land, and you have atmosphere over here. Okay, so you have atmosphere over here, and these are the different levels, okay, pressure levels. For example, this is 1000 for you, hectopascal, okay, and this is 850, this is 650, okay, and this is, for example, 450. That's how, sorry, so that's how it, if we are taking, so this is 450, okay. So what happens, what our normal way of thinking, or normally what we know actually, so the atmosphere over here, okay, so there we have atmosphere over here in this location, we have atmosphere here, we have atmosphere over here, we also have atmosphere over here. So we have different atmosphere at different level, although it's taken as a single entity. But anyway, so the temperature over this region, if we are talking about T1000, temperature over this region is T850, right? Temperature over this region is T650, and temperature over this region is T450. So our normal convention, how it works, so basically we have higher temperature near the land. There are a lot of reasons behind it. One is land is warmer itself. I know atmosphere takes a certain amount of it, so we have a very glowing shining sun which goes through the atmosphere up to the land and everywhere, and it warms the temperature, warms the atmosphere at upper level, we do know. But at the same time, what it warms the most is the land. So the land is warming and warming, so obviously the atmosphere nearby will be warmer as well with time, and warmer will warm, or will be, it will get warmer with time, more than those in the upper atmosphere. So obviously, from that point of view, T1000 will be much higher than T850, and then T65, 650, and that will be T450. So this is the condition. So this is very normal. Okay, this is how we think of, and that we also know. Somebody may have the essence of helicopter, otherwise stuff with but you can check the airplane, what is the outer temperature, and you can see it, it's even minus. So why? So if that is the case, so this is warm. Okay, so this part is warm, this part is less warm, this part even lesser. So this is the condition. So this part is cold and this part is warm in respect to this. So if this is cold, this is warm, so which have a higher density, cold air or warm air, or cold, any kind of fluid, or warm, any kind of fluid? I don't know about other fluids, sorry, I'm not a chemical scientist, so I don't know how other fluids behave, but mostly if things get colder, that means it becomes denser, isn't it? So if it is density or denser rather, so obviously it changes down. So every time, so whenever it goes up, so what happens? If it will be denser, it goes down, it again warm, and it again goes up. So it will never stop, always, because whenever it will go up, it will become cold and again it goes through. So never there will be never no way of having stability of thought. And when so at which location the cold air will sink, at which location the warm air will leave. So there are a lot of confusion, and this is very, from the perspective of stability, it's very hard to understand, isn't it? So it's very hard to understand. So from the stability perspective, it is a complete unstable atmosphere every time, but that is not the case. That is not actually happening. So then, that is one problem. So and another problem is we should think of a conserved quantity. Okay, conserved quantity. This is a very ridiculous kind of concept, that why we need a conserved quantity. And so what do you think that the temperature we have, or we have the understanding of the kind of temperature in the atmosphere, are those conserved? Conserved means, as I mentioned earlier, that suppose there is a person. Okay, so this is a person, he is living in kind of slum areas. Okay, slum areas. Suddenly he goes and become among the richer. Okay, they just suddenly he got a kind of very good luck or something, and he become richer and goes and stays in apartment and so-called rich society. So basically he become richer. And stay in rich society. So this is a slum area, and he goes in and always smile, a different attitude. So everything changes. Everything around his behavior. So his behavior changes. His behavior changes. His way of thought process changes. Everything has changed. Thought process changed. His attitude changed. Everything, every single thing has been changed. So if that happens, so what we will tell is the person conserved. So conserved means, when we are talking about conservation or conserved means conserved or conservation. So when that happens, well, how we will define this conserved or conservation kind of stuff. So if this is a person or a material or anything, so it is a material, and this is the environment. Okay, this is a place P1, and we will shift it to P2. We will shift it to P2. The same cheese, same material, same human being, anything. We will shift it to P2. How will it react? So if it started reacting with the environment, takes in from the environment and gives away something to environment, if that thing started happening, it will not conserve. So it will not been conserved. Okay, so I'm sorry, it's a quite confusion out there. I'm just telling you what I want to say over there. So just give me some time. Okay, so this is the environment for it, and this is suppose E1. I'm sorry. So this is E1 and this is E2, environment 2 for it. Okay, and this is place 1, place 2, but the material is same, in. Now it has some kind of property. For example, in case of material, it may be temperature, it may be the moisture or anything else. It has some weight, some kind of mass. Okay, some kind of mass or anything like that. So these are the materials or the molecules. It have this sort of things. These sort of things. Art is behavior, art is internal qualities. For human being, it's attitude, it's thought process, it's mentality or anything like that. Uh, what should I say? It's behavior, way of talking, way of thinking. Those things are some kind of internal qualities for human being, and for material, these are the qualities. And these are the nature or quality, just quality. Okay. So these are something by which we can define this material. Now, if we shift that M, anyway, it's a man, it's a material, doesn't it? If we shift that to environment 2, this environment 2 is so different. Environment 2 is so different, it's not equals to. So, not equals to even. So, now it will have to react. In many cases, it have to react. And how anything react, how man react. The environment will say something to you, you will say something to the environment. That's how a human will react. Just the same way the material will also react. It keeps some temperature in, some sort of energy, like very high winds over there, some sort of things like very high energy over there. So you have to react, it had to come into equilibrium or something like that. For that it had to accept something, it had to accept, or you have to take in something and take out something. If that thing started, then it will not be conserved, because as every T changes, M changes, smaller changes, every quality it has changed. Every quality changes. So if that is the scenario, it will not be conserved. For example, we conserve animal. That means what? The way treated over in South Africa is the same way to be treated in a Jew in India. If that is happening, then it is conserved. If that is not happening, temperature or environment is way different, then you have to react in a different way. And in internal body things will change, will suffer due to this environment changes, because it can't handle this. The environment is not the same, and it can't be conserved. So that's why we are just not taking Siberian tiger to equatorial Jews. No, we don't do it. We can't do it, because we can't keep those things as cold as it was in Siberia. So that we can't do. So that's the way we can't conserve animal. If we can conserve, that means more or less we have a same temperature. Then we make things conserve, or make animals conserve rather. So this is the point of conservation. That means if you change the environment around it, still it will not change. Okay, still it will not change, or it will not be impacted by the environment around it. Okay, but if you think about the temperature, if you think about you are going through this normal condition. Again, I'm telling because I will use some other terms over here. So in a normal condition, you have a plastic of air. Okay, if you have a plastic of air or something, you contain some sort of air out there, and you bring this from 1000. So this is 1000 hectopascal. I'm sorry. So this is 1000 hectopascal. You just bring up those things at 500 hectopascal somehow. Then it will start reacting with this, because the temperature around it is very cold. You know that it's very cold, right? It will start reacting with this, and it become cold. And when you bring this in, the temperature will be not the same at the point of time you bring it in. Just at the point of time you brought those on the land, the temperature will be way different. So it will not mean conserve. That means, so conserve means when you displace something, some any kind of material from place 1 to place 2. Okay, so how do you know whether it's conserved or not? Anything you are bringing to P2 and again bringing to P1, in fraction of second, at the moment of time you have transferred this again back to P1. If the quality of what it is not the quality, what I want to say. If it's nature, those variables, temperature, moisture, any sort of those sort of behavior, if it is same just like the before or just like the earlier, then you can say it is conserved. Otherwise you can't say conserved. Okay, so this is how conserved quantity works. The temperature in a normal case scenario, the normal understanding, or the normal understanding, temperature is not conserved quantity, because you see, that's what I told you. If you bring this up, it will take time to become colder first. It will definitely take time to become colder, and when you cooler, sorry, it will take time to become cooler, and again when you bring back that parcel or bring back the plastic back again in the lab, it will take time to go to its normal temperature, to go its the normal temperature again. So the temperature again that is another point. Whenever you bring it in, so for example, when you just take this up, so then we have temperature T1, but when you take this back this like the plastic again in the land, then its temperature becomes T2. Okay, so the temperature becomes T2 over there. Now T1 and T2 is not the same, so it just try to equilibrium things with the environment, and that's the reason why its temperature is not being conserved. So we need some sort of conserved quantity. There comes the concept of potential. So what potential temperature means? What potential? How we define potential temperature? Again, a concept of plastic you can take. It's quite odd, but yes, you can take it. So this is again land for you. Okay, so this is the land, and this is the plastic. Suppose this is the plastic, which is known as air parcel. Exactly, plastic. So this is the air parcel for you, and if we take this up, so this is 1000 hectopascal again, this is sort of 850, this is 650, and as we go up, so we have 450 again, or 400 maybe, yeah. So just consider this like that. Okay, now we feel it is an air parcel. Air parcel is something, okay, it's not telling, it's a pocket of air, or packet of air, or any way of thinking is air that is not talking, or that is different from, initially you can take a real packet, okay, just take a packet, plastic packet, paper packet, whatever you want to take it, and just grab some amount of air, put it in that packet, and just stop it. No way it can interact with the atmosphere or the environment around it. Then you can call it as a parcel. Now we will bring that parcel up and down, up and down, up and down. So there is a technique of bringing up and down to understand potential temperature. That is adiabatically. What adiabatically is? Another disgusting term of temperature. So for the students, for everyone who are not interested in this that much, another frustrating term is adiabatically. What is this nonsense? Adiabatically, what do you mean? So adiabatically means, even is this possible? Yeah. So in a normal condition, even is this possible? Yes, sometimes it's possible. So adiabatically means the condition you can say, the way of doing it. Adiabatically is like a process. So if you answer how, the answer will be adiabatically. So that is adiabatically, as a forward, as a passive speech. How can you think? It's that way. So adiabatically is a process. Okay, adiabatic process. What does that mean? So it means a way of shipping or transferring anything. Okay, of transferring, for example, this person, we want to transfer from some place to some place. How? If anybody questions how, and if he answers adiabatically, what does that mean? During the transfer, during those movement or anything, it will not change. It will not change. Not bring things out. Not allows things to go, and not allows things to come in. None of it. And what it will not allow? Both the mass I'm sorry, both the mass and the energy. So it will not allow to go in and go out both ways. And if it will do so, that means it will not interact with the environment. So this is the only thing we have. So it will not interact with the environment. And if we stop interact with the environment, the thing and the quality within it will be the same. Yeah? The quality within it will be the same. It will not change because neither we will shift the mass, neither we will shift the energy from inside to outside, from outside to inside. We're doing nothing. And if we're doing nothing, it will not change. As simple as that. But here is a problem. There is some sort of other environment is there. What is that? It will not lose any, it will not allow things to go out or go in. But if things are changing within it, then how things can be changed? Because of the environment itself. Because if it goes up, that means, suppose you have how to tell you all this. I mean everyone can feel whenever they goes up in the aeroplane, their air is like try to blows out. Okay, that sort of feeling was there. Why it was there? Because our internal body pressure becomes higher than the normal pressure. Okay, so as we goes up, the air pressure, obviously, because here in 650 hectopascal, sorry, 650 hectopascal, the weight of the, so this is M, suppose, so this is M up to 650, means 0 to 650 hectopascal. This is this amount of air, suppose take this as 0, so this amount of air. Now tell me the weight of this and the weight of, sorry, extremely sorry. Okay, so the weight of this and the weight of all the way up to this. So what is more? So if it is M, if it is M1, then obviously M is more. M is what? The weight of the air, and the weight of the air is the air pressure. Okay, so the weight of air, which is M up to this, up to the land, whatever the air we have, the mass of the air is known as M, and the mass of the air that from 0 to 650 is M1, so that M is very, very higher than M1. The weight of that is very high, so anything below or near the land, it is just bearing 1000 hectopascal of air pressure, and if it goes up, it is bearing 650 hectopascal of air only, from 0 to 650 hectopascal, up to 650, but that not weight it is taking in, or tolerating gravity. Okay, so obviously the air pressure will be very less over here, and if the air pressure will be less, what we know actually, the internal energy will change. How it will change? The kinetic energy will be, molecules become, why? Because it become lighter and lighter, and not the perspective of suppose you have a very high pressure, the piston and all those sort of things, those become very compacted, and when you just lift it up, when you just lift the pressure up, or decrease the pressure, then what happens? Those the molecules are going here and there, and very high things happen. There are a lot of space. Okay, so the energy drops, and if the energy drops when you put the piston down, we increase the pressure, the molecules are very close to each other and fighting together, and that sort of things are happening, right? And when you just lift the pressure, lift the piston up, decrease the pressure, they actually go lags there away from each other time. So the internal energy decreases. So if the internal energy decreases, it's the heat within it will also change, and the temperature will also change. So that is another way of changing the temperature without even interacting the environment. Maybe that is caused due to environment, but there is another caveat. If we'll, instead of moving this up and down, if we move this way horizontally, then we will have no impact, Because the pressure is same. So if the pressure is same, I have no problem. Because I am not going to interact with the environment. I am not giving my mass. I am taking nothing, neither the mass nor the energy from outside, or I am not giving this from inside as well. I am not talking to you. I will stay alone and stay like I just give a fuck. I will not talk to you. I will not change within me. So it will not change. It becomes conserved. Here also it becomes conserved. Conserved means it is not being affected by the environment. This is some other stuff. This is some other stuff. Okay. So then the whatever the temperature it will have, that is known as potential temperature. Actually not. This is not the culprit. It's a concept that. So if we move that air parcel from surface or land, to some sort of height h1, so obviously the internal energy will change, and for the pressure change, whatever the temperature change will be happening is related to potential temperature. It is not the definition. What it will actually, how it will define? So you first, for that you have to define a reference pressure level. So for us, the reference pressure level will be 100 hectopascal. That means, so if we will bring the air parcel from any depth, from any pressure level to a certain reference point, reference level, then the additivity will be, then the temperature it would attain, it could attain is known as the potential temperature. Okay. So if we'll bring back, so this is our reference level. If we have two levels, for example, this is 600 hectopascal and this is 850 hectopascal. Okay. So we'll bring one parcel from here to here, bring one parcel from here to here. So what do you think? Which temperature will you have? This or this? Okay, if both has the same temperature, for example, both has same temperature T1. Okay, both has same temperature. Telling you again, both have same temperature. Who will suffer more pressure change? This will suffer more pressure change. So his temperature goes up. So T1 becomes T2, and T1, when it will bring it back in the land, it becomes T3, because it will both have the same temperature. It will give, so this is the air parcel, the lower parcel, that we have one over here, and we bring it over here, we bring it over inland. So the kind of pressure, extra pressure of Simon is 400 hectopascal. And the kind of extra pressure of Hamilton is 250 or 150 hectopascal. Way different. So that means that more impact will be over this. So if we have more impact over this, the change of temperature will be more for this as well. So what we have is T2, definitely T2 greater than T3. Now take it away. Look at this. So we have a higher temperature in higher altitude. Higher temperature in higher altitude. Lower temperature in lower altitude. Okay? Yeah. So that's now the stability becomes stable. The concept of stability becomes stable. We have a high temperature in the up, so it will be lighter. It will be the way we think it, the way we conceptualize things now makes sense. Okay? So this is one thing. And another thing is, it is conserved. It is not being affecting by the environment. Okay?